Hi, it's Nicole, and I'm here from Positive Impact for Mind and Body. Back again with more fascinating facts and details and information about how you can be your healthiest in mind and body, but also how to handle weight loss. So, if you have been looking around and seeing how gorgeous the weather is and enjoying the sunny days, but like just devastated at the thought of being on a beach, does a bikini give you panic attacks? Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. A lot of people are kind of freaked out because they have gained a lot of weight over COVID. And, I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? You can kind of imagine if you're going to eat the same amount of food, right, every day that you're used to and have the same meals and the same products that you've always enjoyed in terms of drinks and foods, then and then not have that much physical activity and really restrict your physical activity. It doesn't really, it's not a myth then. It's not a story. It's not a fable that you're going to gain weight. It's just a simple physiological fact. Now, right now we're being inundated with numerous forms of weight loss. And we're being told it's going to be fast, it's going to be easy, it's going to be quick. And I think that might be true if you are maybe a teenager or in your early 20s. I think as you get older, though, some of those tricks and tips, all those shakes, diet pills, and really rigorous exercise routines, they tend to get harder and harder as you get older. Those of you who are just simply sedentary and have always been sedentary, you may find some relief from some of those products and services. The biggest issue that I have, though, is, there's a couple of issues I have with the weight loss industry. Let's just put it that way. One of the issues that I have is when, and beware of these types of ads. You know, marketers are very smart. I've taken marketing classes myself, and the tendency is to tell you that it's quick, easy, and fast, yada, yada. They don't tell you what happens when you stop using their product or stop doing their particular exercise program. And generally, if we haven't, like I said in the past, so many podcasts, right? I've mentioned how our subconscious minds rule the limbic brain. So if we haven't actually attacked and addressed the subconscious beliefs and emotions that are creating the chemistry in the limbic brain that causes weight gain, then no matter what you do, that weight gain is going to be temporary. And you have to ask yourself, am I okay with temporary weight loss? Is that okay for me? I'm thinking no. I'm thinking most people would prefer a permanent weight loss solution. So whenever you hear someone say quick, fast, and easy, be skeptical. You know, it might be doing something to your metabolic system that you don't even realize is harming it. I know a lot of people who've done a lot of shakes, been on Weight Watchers over and over and over again. And what's the number one thing they say about it, right? When they've repeated a shake program, a detox program, a weight loss program, repeated taking this pill or, this particular set of foods that they buy online or this particular workout, what's the number one thing they say? It doesn't work after a while. If you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again, your body's system, which is super, super intelligent, is going to learn how to get back to your set point, conserve those calories and fat, and not expend them anymore, because now it's outthought your process. So you may be asking, like, how do I reset my internal system for a lower weight? First, you have to establish the trust. You have to establish with your body that you basically trust what it's doing. It's gaining weight. Why? And in what form? If it's muscle mass, obviously that's a no-brainer. That's not a bad thing. That's a great thing, because that muscle mass is going to help you burn more fat calories. If it's fat, then we're looking at things, subconscious beliefs and feelings and subtle emotions that revolve around fear, anger, and depression. And I hear some of you saying, what about stress in there? Yeah, that's what fear and anger and depression are. They result in stress emotions and feelings. You may feel stressed and have nothing going on, and it's just because of the resulting emotions you've had from other experiences in your life. But one thing that you need to do is establish a sense of trust. So that how do we do that? We do that through meditation. We do that through visualizations. We do that by truth talking with the body. That's something that I created for my clients, and that has been extremely helpful, especially when it comes to surviving a workout or having that conversation about, why do I really want this food? And I'm not speaking to oh, I'm bummed out today and I was really stressed that, my boss didn't give me a raise, so I ate like a box of Girl Scout cookies. I'm not talking about that. This is on a different level. It's a subconscious level. The other thing you want to do is, after you've created this level of truth and trust with the body, then you want to engage the body, like figure out what your body really is looking for. So for instance, and I'll just give you a couple of cues. If you're craving salts, you're actually craving emotional connection. You're not getting that feedback in relationships that you normally would want, or that you need, that you grew up having. The other thing is that sometimes we use salt in order to insulate our nervous system. So when we're insulating our nervous system, we're also saying, we're not quite prepared, or our nervous system isn't, I want to say, ready for some of the stimulus that's in your daily life. And so that's just one craving. That's salt, right? We put that in that one package, salt. The next one is, what about, craving sweets? And I was interviewed on a local television show. I think it was Connecticut Live here, and they had, why would people, what about sweet craving? What about that? What can you say about someone's personality? And when you crave sweets, basically you're craving a level of recognition, either in relationships and personal relationships, or at work, or at school, or with one other individual that you feel you really need to get some acknowledgement from. And that can include in the form of love, hugging and kissing and things like that. So if you are not getting those things, that level of acknowledgement, that level of love, and maybe even a little bit of intimacy, because there's some oxytocin rolling around in that combination, you are going to be craving some sweets. Now, sweets and then carbohydrates, right? There's a combination. So the sweets that are craved along with the carbohydrate, so you say maybe chocolate chip cookies, or cakes, or things that combine the two, the sweet and the carbohydrate together. Even like a sweet potato pie, that sort of thing. If you're craving that sort of thing, then you're also craving a level of energy. You derive a level of energy from those intimate relationships, those connections. I know a lot of people who are just sleep deprived that crave carbohydrates and sweets. So you're feeding your adrenal glands, you're kind of giving your blood sugar a little boost so you can get through your day. But then you're also trying to acknowledge on some level that you appreciate all the stress that you're going through, and you acknowledge yourself. So those are two, the salt cravings, the sweet cravings are two of them, and then the last one is the carbohydrate alone. What if you just want like mashed potatoes, or potato chips, or you're a bread craver? I have a lot of those bread craving people. Breads and those kind of carbohydrates in general, they represent a level of comfort food, right? So the comfort foods kind of produce a level of serotonin in the brain. They make us feel good and relaxed, that life is all good and we don't have to worry about anything. So sometimes I call carbohydrates the worry food. They dull the nervous system in that regard and allow GABA to kind of like play a role and quiet the brain so it's not so reactive and responsive to external stimuli and emotions and people. So what's the problem with our current weight loss systems? Why is there an issue then, right? If we know all of this science, then what is the real problem with someone saying, hey, don't do abs this way, never do cardio if you want to lose weight? Why are you still doing plan A, B, C, or D? Get rid of that. These blanket statements are, not only are they scary, honestly, because a lot of it is taken out of context, they're wrong. So if, and I'll just give you a couple of examples. I had heard a bodybuilder once say, I never train abs. Someone asked me how to get, really tight six-pack types of abs. And she's like, I never train abs. That's a lie. I could tell you based on her body. So she has what I call the 3-hour-a-day body, where she spends 3 hours a day in a gym. So even if she's doing compound exercises, right, doing like lawnmower pulls, functional training, and then overhead press, and she's doing very little abdominal work, she's still engaging her abs to do the other work. So it's almost impossible not to work the abdominals. And I think it's, really kind of like a fallacy to say she never works abs. You could say, oh, that's her musculature, that's her structure. No, I can guarantee you right now that anyone that you like seeing or looking at who looks really fit, right, and claims they only do Pilates or only do yoga, it's a lie. They do some sort of strength training. They have to get that kind of tone. That would impress you. The other thing that I will say is that I hate when people say things like, never do cardio if you want to lose weight. Well, that assumes one thing and one thing only, that you've done cardio your entire life and that you continue to do it and that you don't change your program whatsoever. Most people that want to lose weight are generally not gym rats. Am I right here? Does that make sense? Most people who want to lose weight have to involve a bit of cardio if they've been sitting on a couch forever. Now, weight trainers, free weight trainers, bodybuilders, and things like that, they need their equipment basically to sell you their program. So they can't justify their equipment if you're losing weight only by doing cardio. Get it? Get what I mean? So if you're buying into their program, then they're going to tell you the way to go is to gain muscle mass in order to lose body fat. But it depends on you're the individual. See, and this is the problem I have with these huge blanket statements over everything, is because as the individual, you may have been doing cardio for a while and then plateaued. And that's not because you were doing cardio. It was because you decided not to change your program up. Now, yeah, add a little bit of strength training in there or resistance training. Maybe change your program. I just worked with a woman who did the same thing for 3 years. She, every other day, would get up, run on the elliptical for 30 minutes, get her heart rate maybe to like 130, and she's in her 40s. And again, you have to pay attention to your heart rate based on age. And then she'd lift weights. So what's wrong with that? That's a lot of physical activity, and she should be, at a good weight. Well, the bigger problem is her hormones were out of balance. We addressed that. One of the other things is that we changed her program entirely because, again, we're talking physiological adaptability. The second your body gets used to something, it's going to change and adapt to it and become very, very efficient and use as little body fat as possible in order to accomplish the task. So in your mind, it's getting easier and easier and easier. Yay, good for me. I don't have to work as hard. No, you want to change it up every 3 or 4 weeks so that it stays challenging for you enough to burn the body fat that you need to burn. So the second little tip I have for you today, outside of understanding your cravings, is to also understand marketing and weight loss and fitness programs that claim that these big blanket statements are true for everyone, and they're not. The same goes for people who say, oh, you should drink this shake. This shake is bar none, it's the best, it's gonna do it for you. I just saw yet another commercial for a pill, a weight loss pill. And again, I go back to the standard question: what happens when you stop that shake? What happens when you stop that pill? That's the bigger issue, is that you are not going to be able to sustain whatever is driving that weight loss from that shake or that pill. Not only that, but I will say a lot of people who depend on protein shakes, they don't recognize the carb count in them. That's the same with vegans. They don't recognize that there's a huge carb count to the beans that they're relying on for protein. So inevitably, I've met a lot of vegetarians and vegans that are actually over fat because they're ingesting too many carbohydrates. And that's something that a lot of people overlook. They're like, but I'm taking this shake, it's a meal replacement. It's only so many calories. Yeah, but half of those are baked in sugar. So again, we're going back to the three cravings that the shakes are selling you on, and we're believing. And I have the quote in a book proposal I'm sending out soon. But basically, I was channeling information from the Holy Spirit, and Holy Spirit was saying, listen, your culture prides itself on making people feel wrong, for making them feel bad about who they are. And then they sell them on things that feed their vices, which is genius. When you think about it, yep, that's exactly what we do. But it's hard. I almost feel like a whistleblower, because this was my industry for years. 30 years of experience in the fitness and weight loss industry. And I really felt like a traitor, like, oh my God, I'm doing the wrong thing. But no, what I'm doing is I'm educating people about what's right and what's wrong, and what the industry is willing to do in order to make money. And although that's all well and good as a business, I don't really relish the idea of preying on people's vices in order to make them buy their products and get this result. So I hope I'm reverse engineering all of this for you, and you could see it from a different perspective now, because no, you're not going to have permanent weight loss with any shake, any diet, any particular workout system. Your body is inevitably going to adapt. You may get very strong, you may get very thin, but the second you go off of that particular system, stop investing in it, you're going to gain it all back. So my goal throughout my entire career is how to get people to lose weight on their own, with their own minds and bodies. And like I said, it's a book proposal I'm submitting right now to people, called Embodying Enlightenment. And I hope to, give you a lot more information in that. But in the meantime, so that's number one. Check your cravings. What are you really craving in your mind and body? Number two, don't buy into the blanket statements. Don't read into, oh, that's got to be me, right? No, you're an individual. You're an individual, and you always have been. The only problem is you've been believing what everyone else thinks about you and what you know to be true about yourself. So the third thing is, build a sense of trust between your mind and body. If something sounds too good to be true, never do cardio again, yeah, it's probably not true. I know a lot of diet books that'll say that, you don't even have to exercise. All you have to do is eat like this. That's not how the body was designed. And that's not what God had intended for us to live like. The whole point of having moving limbs and arms is to use them. I don't know if anyone has ever seen the movie WALL-E, where our human race gets transplanted to another planet because we've got so much garbage on this planet. But it's hysterical because you can almost see this actually happening. The population, the entire population are plump, very obese people on moving chairs through the air, further destroying the whole concept of mind-body connectivity and physical activity. And it's just really sad that no one is like being honest about this. And here's the other piece of this puzzle. So the assumption is that your metabolism is failing you, your body is failing you, and you have to find a different way to respond to your mind and body in order to lose weight. The only problem I have with that is that is entirely a scientific approach. That's it. That's all it is. Just the science of it, the physiology of it. Now, what I just talked about in the craving piece of it, it goes even deeper than that. So the cravings, the food cravings that you may have, just reflect some of the subconscious beliefs and emotions that you have, and some of the conscious beliefs and emotions that you're aware of. But I will say, during the course of 9 years of giving these psychic mind-body readings to my personal training clients who have weight loss goals, I will say that the majority of them have gained weight, not just from current stimuli, current stressors and emotions and feelings, but things that have happened to them in their youth, as children, as teenagers, in their 20s and 30s. These might be emotional trauma. It might be a witness to emotional trauma. It could be abuse. It could be a very shy personality who can't handle or were never taught stress coping mechanisms that they could utilize in their lives. So this is a whole other strata of a subconscious emotional reality that no one is addressing. And seriously, it deeply and permanently affects our ability to maintain our healthy weight. I'm a member on a lot of different sites, nutrition sites, fitness sites, mind-body sites, psychic sites. And a lot recently, there have been a lot of professionals asking questions on nutrition sites and fitness sites, why their client isn't responding to their program. Why aren't they getting results? Why can't they stick to a diet? How come they don't show up for their workouts? And all I can say is I really hope to get to the point where what I'm talking about right here, right now, this subconscious emotional status that drives the limbic brain to gain weight, becomes a common conversation. Like I said, I'm hoping to publish the book later this year, Embodying Enlightenment, that speaks to all of those negative emotional traumas that we may have experienced growing up through our lives that are now I want to say, the driver and control of our metabolism. It's driving our metabolism in the wrong direction. So if you are one of those people that this particular issue is addressing, the subconscious emotions and beliefs from past trauma, past abuse, and don't fool yourself either, because, so many people I've given psychic readings to about the mind-body connection and weight loss and their goals have, these deeply rooted subconscious underlying reasons for their weight gain. Now, I will say that, I can see you struggled in the father relationship growing up. And we get into some pretty heavy topics, like maybe the father knew the child was being abused, but did nothing about it. Or maybe that it wasn't just verbal abuse, maybe it was sexual abuse. I mean, we're talking deeper layers. And a lot of people that I give readings to will say, I thought I had forgiven that. I thought I had put that in my past. That no longer affects me. Well, surprise, surprise, it's still affecting you, because if I can see it in your energy, it's still affecting you. So, as diligently and as earnestly as you may want to think and believe that you have overcome some trauma or abuse from the past, or your shyness from the past, or the criticism you suffered from, your schoolmates from the past, it is still driving your metabolism today. That being said, you may need more of a professional approach and help. And I will say, I love therapy and I love psychologists, seem to help for some people. But when we're talking weight gain, especially in the realm of the subconscious mind, I don't know very many people who handle weight gain the way I am able to handle weight gain. In other words, I'm able to dig up the subconscious beliefs and images and emotions that are affecting your metabolism right now, and have kind of capitalized on the COVID-15 weight gain and made it even worse. But I am also able to kind of address, heal. Remember, I'm a Reiki master as well. Address, heal, and shift the focal point away from the subconscious emotions that are creating the limbic imbalance in the brain, and shine a light on the thing that you do want to create. And it's this is I want to say 30 years of research, of exploration, of trying different techniques. And I know so many people who do EFT, EMDR, DNRS, all these techniques that are supposed to change the brain and alleviate it from emotional stress. The only problem I have is, again, it's like these topical fixes. So here's the brain, right? It's all functioning there. And you're trying to fix it from the outside. It's like telling a pine tree, and telling an oak tree to be a pine tree, because you're going to put this netting over it. And then you're going to feed it pine tree food, right? But it's still an oak tree. It's still going to be there unless you go down to the root and you destroy the root, you take that out, and you plant a pine tree root. Okay, you see what I'm saying? There's this strange conception, and I'm a behavior specialist too. I'm a certified behavior specialist with a National Academy of Sports Medicine. And there's this prevailing thought that by doing all of these topical things, we're actually going to be successful in changing the habits that created the weight gain. But again, that's a fallacy. It's erroneous. It's wrong, because again, we cannot change the top of the emotion with a topical solution. You can't change your brain with your own brain. And I'm not the only one who said so. There's so many scientists and researchers and doctors out there who've already done the science. I can't stand people who want to argue with me and they haven't read the science. But it's very well known in the world of psychology that you cannot change your brain with how your brain is right now. You sometimes need to alter the state, and I'm not talking drugs. I'm talking alter the state, getting into alpha theta state, meditation, visualization, having professional help, having someone know how to alter and shift those subconscious beliefs and emotions. But that being said, have at it. If the pill works for you and you find great satisfaction in the workout you're doing right now, that's all good. But if you're finding that you're repeating the same thing over and over and over again, you're not motivated to get started, you know exactly what to do, or maybe you're motivated, but you're just drained from trying it over and over and over again, then you might need my help. Just saying. So if in fact you are interested in a little bit of a consultation, feel free. You can contact me through here or on Mind Body Mastery. Oops, it would be good if I had the cursor over the right part. So my website is mindbodymastery.org. You can also take advantage of, I do a body scan. This is part of the psychic mind body reading I do for weight loss clients, I perform a body scan, but you can do it on your own as well. So if you would like to download the free body scan, you can always text body-mind to 33777, and you will get that. You will get that download for free, and it'll give you a sense of how I work. It won't give you the full picture because basically it's a lot of work. And it also is a little more complicated than the traditional body scan that I'm offering for free here and now. But once you do download that body scan, if you want to put in the notes, I'd like a free consultation, you can also do that. There's an option for you at in the body of the text that you can respond and say, this is my email, I'd like a free consultation. So I hope and I pray that you are a little more aware, maybe better educated about the weight loss process and how it works and how marketing is working on your brain and your vices. And I really hope that you are happy in your mind and body. Good luck, everyone. And feel free to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Nicole's MBM anytime. And you can also PM me there or DM me there. I usually get on like every other day and just check messages and whatnot. If you have any questions you want to address privately, that would be great. The other thing is that, like I said, there's a lot of freebies on my website, mindbodymastery.org. Not only would you be able to get that free body scan download, but I did just upload a free fear and anxiety meditation, how to manage it. It's a really soothing, beautiful meditation I do for clients that suffer from panic attacks and things like that. So if you are enjoying this podcast, also let me know that, people, I enjoy a little feedback. Oh, and good news, next week, this Thursday, I will have my regular podcast. I hope to have someone to give a reading to at that time. But next week, it's great. Love Infinity will be back with me 3:00 on Monday next week. Okay. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy and love your mind and body. And I'll talk to you soon.